Happy New Year, everybody. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, no Steve Dangle. Where's Dangle, JB? How did you get into this?
It's a big wheel now. He just said, I want New Year's Day off. And they got a couple of schlubs to step in, man.
You like what I've done with the set here?
Yeah. Can you tell how half-heartedly I went at the balloon thing? I got a couple of birthday balloons over in Flip over here. That is high end, man. Was that for this, or did you have this for the actual New Year's Eve?
Well, getting that huge Sportsnet Happy New Year package.
I would not be stunned if that was actually a thing that went out.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call somebody first chance I get. We'll get you your Happy New Year. I'll be a little late.
I'll talk to the big boss.
There's no one down the stairs that perhaps could trip on those balloons, could they?
You know what? Meant as a barricade. If it is a 5-year-old, you might see some dramatic fall down there. So it's very possible it could be a hazard, but hopefully not.
Welcome in, everybody. We're thrilled to be here. Of course, Steve Dangle has done a great job of most Saturday nights live streaming. He gets the night off. Justin Bourne and I will be hosting all night. We've got hockey. Can you believe the last time the Toronto Maple Leafs played? I think Ron Ellis was in the line.
It feels like it, man. It honestly, it feels like coming out of one of the pandemic pauses or something. I guess it kind of is, but no, it's been forever. This feels right. New year, new Leafs game, some fresh content for the boys to kick around. I know Kipper and Bourne show needs it, not just the rest of the hockey fans.
Well, we're glad everybody's on for the ride. So, I know what you're used to with Dangle. We're not sure what you're going to get from us, but maybe a little deeper look into certain things that happen on the ice. We're for the finer details. We'll try to do our best to bring them along to you. You'll watch with us. You'll get our spontaneous thoughts as we watch the game all together. There's a chat. Some questions. We're going to be around for the next few hours, the duration of the hockey game. Justin and I are here to take your calls, so we'll have a blast here. And have you got a beverage or two, Justin, to make sure that the pipes stay lubricated?
Yes, I do. I have the finest partake IPA tonight, Kipper. It's I'm not drinking these days. This is the partake non-alcoholic IPA because I'm an IPA guy. It's delicious.
And you know what? I met those guys. It's a fabulous and I think it was Ted who I met. We had some talks when we were early into the process of Little Buddha. And yeah, Justin, here comes the shameless plug right there.
For the record, the partake one is not shameless. I'm not getting anything for that. But the Little Buddha one, that's a product.
We're only 4% alcohol. I need to, for anybody to be nervous about me drinking, I need to have at least, I think, 20 of these. So
Kipper said everything's goal. He's on tonight. So
Wait, quickly, before we get to puck drop, JB, Sean Keefe talking about focus, and we haven't played since kidding aside, mid-December against Edmonton, I think 5-1. He's going to be a little bit nervous. You're not even sure what you're really going to get those first 5 or 10 minutes.
No, and they had a lot of games. Didn't start particularly well anyway, but I think a huge concern for them tonight is you see the reports of guys who were on the COVID protocol list having had one practice. Nylander had one skate since coming off the protocol list. I believe Morgan Riley, the same thing. I mean, you know how it is when you haven't been on the ice in a while. You go out and blow it out in practice and how you feel the next day. Like, these guys got to be taking 30-second shifts tonight or they're not going to be of any use out there.
Ottawa is their top goal scorer in Josh Norris. The Toronto Maple Leafs decide to keep Muzzin out. Another guy, JB, who only had one practice out of 5.
And you wonder if he had more symptoms?
No. I think this one has to do with just the issues that Jake Muzzin had in the past. Let's not forget. He lost him at the most critical time of the year last year to a groin injury. That's a painful pill to swallow. And I think this is more of a long thought when it comes to Jake Muzzin, and maybe protecting those type of situations now. They feel like they've bit of a buffer zone.
Yeah, and I like the idea, like you said, that they weren't going to rush to get these guys back in. Like, they played 30 times, which means if all goes well, they're to play 52 more hockey games in a condensed period of time. Jake Muzzin already looked in the first half of the year, frankly, like he was dragging a little bit. He was not able to carry Justin Hall, who, I think has been one of the only Leafs who would say has been disappointing this season. So, it makes sense. Don't rush him back. Make sure he's healthy. They need him to make Justin Hall better, and he's a huge part of what they're trying to build here. So I understand keeping him out.
Jack Campbell in the lineup tonight.
All right.
You want to take a crack
Yeah.
at that? We're just hearing that we have some audio issues. We can assure you that the good people at Sportsnet are working on that. We'll get you a puck drop and we'll see if we can rectify a few issues here and get back on board in terms of great audio for you.
Yeah, they're not used to the double host factor here. It's usually just the Dangle going straight at it. So they'll get the audio sorted here, and we'll watch a little bit of Leafs hockey.
Did you by chance get a crack at my poll that I put out on Twitter just earlier today on the real reason why Steve Dangle is here? I gave everybody 4 options. Did you see those?
I did. First off, healthy scratch is not the case. Was that what you voted for? Healthy scratch vote?
You know what? As the guy that ran the poll, I didn't vote.
With the healthy, they tell you sometimes it's just best to watch it from above, watch it unfold from a distance, and then have a better sense when you come back into it. It makes some sense. I think I voted for what the options? Non-emergency or non-recall waivers.
Non-recallable waivers, which
Right.
I thought be for sure one of the leaders in it. That only got 5%.
Yeah.
I got the same percent as my little boot.
No, I didn't vote for that one. What were the other 2 options? Because I told him
Pending a trade call, he would be on have a no move clause, would he not?
Oh, I think so now. This guy is a commodity. He's an asset. If Sportsnet locked him up and he's got
We now ask that you please rise if you're able to. Remove your hats. Enjoy one.
something he hasn't been able to do because of all
Technology's hard, Kipper.
That'll be an interesting
Got my wife
matchup
on the
if that
roof right now.
continues.
Just
One of the challenges
turning a
of
little
playing
bit
that
to the
top-line role.
to the north.
Yeah, aim those rabbit ears.
Matt Murray here in the first minute.
All right, I think we're back. We're live. Hopefully everyone can hear us and we can watch a hockey game together. Oh, we missed some hockey. Oh my goodness, Austin Matthews on the draw.
Now, what do you think of Matt Murray and this opportunity? I got to think right now that it doesn't look. I can't see him turning this right around between now and the end of the year.
No, and it's one of the few contracts where you, as soon as it was signed, I think you said, maybe you don't love that one. And what a hard situation for a team. Oh, we got a call early here. TJ Brody. The Matt Murray situation for them is like when you have a young team that's trying to make it, it's hard when you can't get a save, when you're trying to be the underdog and you can't get saves. Brody Holden. Oh, reaching in on Brody. All right.
That's nice, eh? You've been off for what, 3 weeks? And you're less than a minute in on the power play.
Yeah, let your superstars get a touch, no pressure, handle it on the flank. If I were to predict what happens, I'm going to say a lot of puck on the outside and guys just having it.
I can only imagine what Matt Murray's thinking about. Guys, give me 30 seconds, 5 on 5.
I got to worry about an Austin Matthews flank ripper. Oh, Riley's moving pretty good.
Carrying the mail.
Riley kicks it back.
His last month.
On this power play, there's Nylander going to the net and a pass for Tavares through his skates and back into the lead zone. Alex Formanton on the ice, a couple of short-handed goals. Out in a penalty-killing role along with Connor Brown. A stretch pass onto the right side for Nylander. Drops it back for Marner. Tavares in the...
All right, we're back. Thanks for your patience. Obviously, technology is way over our heads. We got some great people working on it.
So this is Mikheyev's window. They got him on PP2, flying wide, using his speed. I am curious to see if he finds a more permanent role on the offensive side of things with the Leafs.
You see that you see that pass from Tavares to Marner? That's where I think he needs to shoot the puck.
You'd rather see him just get that to the net?
Oh, 100%.
By the way, we were just talking about Riley and how productive he's been. It's going to be an interesting experiment to watch how long Sandin on the second unit, stays on the second unit. Get another one there?
A guy... You know who's got probably the hardest shot on that blue line?
Who's that?
Well, I'm telling you that every once in a while when you need a different look, and Morgan doesn't have the bomb, Sandin shoots the puck pretty well, but as far as a guy that can rip it on that blue line, I think Martin's got the hardest shot.
It depends where you played out of, Kipper. I recently watched an NHL team's power play strategy video, and a lot of what they were trying to do was change the depth of the penalty kill. So as in, they wanted to run it behind the net to collapse the D, collapse the PK, and then a guy like Muzzin is super valuable because when you're passing up to the top, you've got that bomb. So it kind of depends where you're going to run out of. Are you going to run it out of high in the zone, in which case you don't really need the bomb, or low, in which case Muzzin's maybe less effective. Spezza so good, still so good.
This is where these have been really good. Limited opportunities, 20 seconds, 30 seconds power play. Even if you can carry that momentum right through without scoring, it has a great effect on the hockey game.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like Spezza, I feel like the Leafs have a number of guys who are on the verge of old, but a break like they just got is going to help you continue to get the best out of Spezza. Muzzin could use it. Even a guy like Tavares, I think you're going to get the best out of these guys that seem to be aging a bit because of the break here.
And offside is called.
Oh, you heard Kelly Rudy cheering.
Stutzel in the middle tonight.
He could get some traction,
Batherson
get something going. Always difficult.
And Kachuk.
Right to start a game, you have to
feel
kill a
about-
penalty.
That's
And
got the
Rudy
making
did
of a-
nice job
that's got the
attacking
making
with
of a
that
very
trouble
good line,
there,
one
get
day.
some nice and
My God.
good
Yeah, I mean,
aggressive
Ottawa's definitely
positional
got some
save
pieces.
there by
How do you
Murray
feel
on
about the idea of these young guys
top end of his blue
playing
paint,
center
able to
versus
get
not? I
that
think a
up
Willie
nice
coming
and
into the league, and he played center in the minors, and they don't give him a shot in the NHL or any serious shot. How do you feel about that progression?
Over 82 games, I would have small windows. I would have moved Willie in on a couple of occasions the last few years. Same thing with Marner. You just never know, JB. How many different looks you may need, especially down the stretch of the playoffs. Those guys are natural centermen too.
When they did it against Columbus, like eventually things fell apart, and they're like, I guess Willie's going to be a centerman now. He hadn't done it all year, so I wouldn't mind seeing him get some regular season games there.
It's just a complete different look, and especially in the playoffs when you may need it. Injuries, or you just got to change it up. You need a momentum swing here. Maybe it's just moving bodies in and out, but moving positional players in.
Yeah, and you know, COVID's not going to not be a thing come playoffs. It's not out of the question that you could randomly find yourself without two centers, or need to be able to have flexibility. And I kind of feel like this year it's more important to have flexibility, positional flexibility, than in previous seasons.
Get to know where your partner is going to be on the ice.
So two former captains of Harvard on the ice.
Ottawa just must be thinking, get through this this first period, 20 minutes here. Maybe scoreless, maybe down to nothing.
They take a penalty behind
Yeah,
the play now. All done, Willie.
Nylander trying to make a play, and there's Sir Adam Gaudette back in the lineup here.
God, he's so low in the offensive zone. Isn't he supposed to be the high guy there?
Is
that a trip?
I don't know.
That's a little chintzy. You take it.
Yeah.
Leaf fans, you'll take that one and move on.
You know what, though? It starts to feel dicey, because you get a couple early. If you don't put one in, it's coming the other way.
Play brought to you by Kit Kat Chunky, made for hunger. Gambrell will get waived.
Didn't even make it hard on Murray in the first one, so you got to get a couple of decent looks here. Oh boy, that's not it.
They're in good shape here.
It's your boy Marner, defensive specialist. That was actually exceptional one-on-one defense, wasn't it?
It was.
Get organized.
Stick in, ankle to the boards.
He skated backwards more in that than I did my whole career.
It's funny. There's a lot of forwards in the playing D now. They barely even want you skating backwards, mostly because we suck at it. Willie, what a drag. What do you think is a reasonable amount of ice time on a power play? Like 40 seconds now?
Yeah. First of all, these guys are such great athletes. They're in shape. It depends on the quality of the minute and a half.
Yeah.
If it's not dire, if you have worked your ass off in a minute and a half, and you've got some juice to go, why would Matthews come off?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I know people. It's always when power play struggles and you watch a guy take all 2 minutes that you bitch and whine about. But it really all depends on the quality of your workload in that minute and a half, or close to 2 minutes.
So
like right now they're moving the puck pretty well. It's not like anybody's out of breath.
But I gotta be honest, Kipper. Mikheyev on his offhand flank is not gonna work for me. Like, what's he gonna create from there? Certainly not gonna shoot it that I'm aware of. Can't take a one-timer, not a natural dish. That's a weird setup for me.
9 seconds of the second league power play. Slick move
Sandin.
Good quality rush there by Sandin.
Bunting too gets to net. Oh, temper tantrum for Murray. Is he not happy about that? All right, we're at 5-0 Leafs shots. What's the total for the first period? Oh, yeah, good point. I heard someone once say that Tavares is most effective when he actually beats guys one-on-one when he's got that pop. And I thought he did a really good job on that power play, getting on the inside of guys.
Yeah.
Good sign for them there. All right, so we actually have we made it through without technical difficulty to a break. Kipper, should we take a question?
Yeah, let's do that,
All right.
JB.
All right, let's look at this. We got a couple of them. Is there a market out there for Justin Hall? Thank you, Ben, for the question.
My thought is yes, there is a market for him, but it's not one that's going to satisfy the Toronto Maple Leafs. The one that's going to satisfy the Toronto Maple Leafs is when they keep in their bag and start moving some significant pieces, and that's another first rounder. That might be Nick Robertson. Everybody throwing darts at me right now because I mentioned that. Maybe. But that's what we're talking about. Moving Hall for another defenseman of that caliber is just a lateral movement.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I just don't see how you replace a guy you clearly need with that much salary cap space. How about this question from Dex? What's the best hockey moment you've witnessed live? Oh, for you, probably the 94 Cup was that you witnessed live, huh?
Yeah, it was the last second where I had to watch Craig McTavish win one more face-off at Madison Square Garden. That's probably the only one for me.
Yeah, I guess you went to too many games as a fan to even have one as a fan, but as a broadcaster, I imagine you're at a ton of games.
Yeah, there was this golden goal in Vancouver.
All right, well, I just can't hang of this conversation. So.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, we got a ton of questions. This is great from people. If you could make one rule change or one change NHL rule, what would it be?
99 points for Austin Matthews in 2021.
It would be that if you knock the net off without any additional push from an opponent, if you knock off the net any which way you do on your own, it's an automatic rule.
Yeah.
There's no accidentals. I don't care if you're coming on a back check and you dive to make a play, but you accidentally knock the net off. I'm sorry, that's an automatic call for me.
So Sandin really active. Look at him. First he dips down on offense, then he cuts back on the early take, stays on his guy, skating his ass off, coming off injury. That's impressive.
Sandin and Hall tonight.
So Muzzin's not in. So
Muzzin's out.
Front of that pass was Biega, and Engvall's back in, trying to split the D. Matthews following, and a loose puck slides wide of the net. Engvall.
That's what you want to see out of Engvall every time. It's this big mule coming through the middle of the ice or driving to the net.
We always used to say that to Kapanen. That doesn't matter if you score, but when you push like Engvall just did, you push the D back and at least leave room above the D to create. That's the thing with a guy like him, Engvall. You don't have to dish to anyone. Just take it. Every time you can, take it to the net, and you're creating in a different way for your line mates.
I think Jack wants to field the puck right now.
Yeah, it's already feel comfortable. You don't let that first one in. That's 10 minutes into the period.
No, but you don't want to go 10 minutes without a shot on goal. That was the Killers in the period today, as they lost it overtime. But
yeah,
you're like, boys, get some pucks.
A lot of stop starts in that D zone there from the Leafs. A lot of kind of circling around.
8 minutes into this opening period.
Just seems like so much hype on the Ottawa Senators with their young guys, as it should have been. But there's always something pulling.
Another good stop there by Murray off Nylander. Off the glove of Tavares, so Nylander can't play that puck. Gambrell and Sanford sending it across, and here's Austin Watson on his off wing. Playing it in front of the Leaf net.
Though the whole Pierre Maguire thing, hired by Eugene Melnick, and not to have Pierre Dorian involved in that, and then you hear of the friction of from the two of them now. How do you allow that?
Well, and how do you not anticipate that if you're doing the hiring? You've got a general manager that might be, if the guy's going to manage things generally, he's going to need the people around him he wants,
back to the line. Here's Biega shooting it wide.
A lot of high. I was at a Leafs practice earlier this year, and they're working on getting that F3 up between the D and the O zone, like having 3 guys really high to stretch out the defense. Something they used a little bit in the offensive end to make space.
Yeah, not much getting to the net now.
No. But particularly going the Leafs way, still no shots. I know they had the 2 power plays, but Ottawa still hasn't got one on Soupy. Solid neutral zone, pushing to the outside.
One of the biggest disappointments for me, besides everyone else's disappointment of the tournament getting shut down, JB, was that I really wanted to take a good look at Jake Sanderson.
Yeah, that was a big pick, right? I mean, they picked it, was it 5th overall or something, or was it a super high pick? I
don't know, Sammy, what pick was it, Sammy?
We do need Sammy to go to on these sort of things. Sammy, Google that for us.
Sammy McKee, of course, from Real Kipper and Bourne, our third sidekick, our producer, usually on top of all of that by the time we get it out. What pick was he?
Great shot by Spezza there.
Top 5.
Yeah,
Sanderson was the 4th, 5th pick.
Jake Sanderson.
No, maybe not that high.
Overall, yeah,
okay.
2020.
Yeah. Now think about this. Now he's also a left-handed shot, so you are guaranteed now Jake Sanderson on one pair and Thomas Chabot on the other pair.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Thomas Chabot? The guy leads the NHL in time on ice, not this year, but I think he's in the top few anyway.
Yeah.
You a fan of his game? He was, kind of a fringe Team Canada guy.
Let me text Kevin back to.
What did he have to say about him? Just that he not a huge fan?
I don't know. It's just get thoughts on him. I'm not sure he liked his defensive game.
Yeah.
Made it abundantly clear, but he's a special player. Take a look at that goaltending that he's had and a few pieces beside him on that blue line. But 30 minutes a night, this guy.
Yeah. I was a good player on a bad college team, or at least a better player on our bad college team. And I got to tell you, it's tough to look like things are going well when you're minus 30. You're on the ice a lot and your team's not that good. That's just how it's going to be for Thomas Chabot a lot of the time.
Yeah, we'll do later on in the show, maybe second intermission. At times throughout my Hockey Night in Canada days, Elliot and I would do a second intermission headlines, Saturday headlines.
That's great.
Maybe did you adjust those rabbit ears?
You know, my wife wasn't doing the job yours was, Kipper, so I just sent my son up there. He's on the roof now, doing the best he can to make it work. Apologies to those at home for the annoyance.
There's a big rebound.
Defensive play there.
Wayne Simmons, much better, consistent presence than I think at any time he's been the Leaf.
How do you think he feels about playing, 10, 11 minutes a game? Do you not care?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's not old, but there's mileage. The body's broken down on a couple of occasions. I don't know truly. I would think at this point he's looking at his career saying, "I'm not a frontline guy anymore." I had those days where people could look at me as a top power play guy, a legit $5 million a year player, but those days are over.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's almost a sense of peace that comes with that, where you're like, okay, I know I'm a guy who's going out for 4 shifts this period. I don't know. Like, I understand that's technically a cross check, but you defend with 2 hands on your stick, keeping guys to the outside. It's a little bit too checky and not cross pushy enough. What do you think?
Horrible call.
Soft, eh?
Horrible call. Come on.
It's on his hips too. That's how you control a guy, on his hips.
You get to push in that manner.
Yeah.
That's not forceful,
geez,
impactful cross check. That's what I want to see.
Justin Hall had a landmine explode in his face. I'm not sure what happened there. Kudos for him for staying out there.
We ran a hockey school when I was younger. We had a great group. We had Adam Graves, Eric Lindros would come in every once in a while, Brad May, and ex-NHLer, Vern Buff used to run it. As I'm telling this, Vern Buff used to jumping up on rush.
I mean, how many times did Tim
tissue in his nose? He obviously got hit early on, but as you see so often, a chance at one end doesn't materialize. You get an opportunity at the other. How about TJ Brodie? Just all in, gets the stick out, keeps it flat against the ground, even looking the other way, but he makes the play. Now you've got in the...
Over the line,
All
couple
right, we're
leaps
back.
again. It's Kasha
Again, once again,
swinging it
apologies
to
on the
Mikheyev,
technical
who's
aspect of our
prominent
live
here in the
stream.
opening period in
But,
front, and a
doing the best we
pad stop
can.
there by Murray.
JB, did
Off
you miss
Kasha.
that second goal by chance?
I did miss that, and I'm
Leafs
seeing
take the
a
early
Mikheyev
advantage on
shorthanded
an
goal.
Ottawa power play.
Like,
First haul,
going
and then
1,000
Mikheyev
miles an
both
hour.
scoring shorthanded.
Just earlier in the show, taking a big elephant dump on his head.
No, I think it was interesting to see if his offensive side would surface. It was an elephant dump. I don't remember exactly. But this guy, he led the NHL. I'm sure he was second in the NHL in short-handed shots last night and scored last year. Not surprised he gets it.
Thank God they were, because I think he would have gone into Lake Ontario if he was going so fast.
Well, I mean, he's a guy who's out there to prove something, and this is kind of it. Like, if he cashes in on a few breakaways, if he gets 20 in a season, he gives you a few. That's a huge swing to some hockey game. A couple of shorties.
Yeah, DJ Smith cannot be happy. So, regardless of what you thought, the balls being down shorthanded, Matt Murray, not necessarily that they're hanging out to dry, but we've seen this movie before.
Yeah. The pregame scouting report probably wasn't a whole lot of lookout for Camp, Hull, and Mikheyev. So when you start getting scored on by those guys and you haven't seen Austin Matthews do his thing with the big boys, that is an ominous start for the Ottawa Senators. Should we do some questions before we go back?
Yeah, I've got one for Leo here. Does the salary cap grow dramatically over the next 5 years? Did you see the building, Leo? It is not going anywhere. In fact, there's a very strong belief right now that next year, based on what we're seeing here out of Canada, that it will remain at 81.5.
Fan.
Not even take the token $1 million on it. Which is, JB, like, even a million means a lot.
Well, to the Leafs skipper, that's Jack Campbell. That's the difference between Jack Campbell and not. I mean, it can be anyway. I mean, a lot of Leafs fans are probably going, all right, Kessel's off the cap. The cap goes up a little bit. You're trying to find ways to keep Jack Campbell and pay him. Boy, move up. It gets awfully tight.
Closing in on a minute to go here. The Ottawa Senators up to 2 measly shots. DJ, the level of compete here. And the young team, is it the easy thing to look at the empty building and go, no energy?
Yeah.
2 shots on goal.
Yeah, no, particularly given a 2 short-handed goals, you're looking at your best guys and going, that's obviously on you. I don't know.
I think may have doubled their shot.
Do you ever for a coach who said, listen, the other team's just better than us? So do we have to play a certain style? Like when you're playing the Leafs, you're not as talented. There's a particular game you have to play, and you need goaltending. You got to be tight defensively.
Yeah.
That haven't been those things.
And even if you have to rope and dope them, right?
Yeah, that's your only chance, really.
Looking behind it.
Morgan Riley gets control.
Every chance you could see Morgan Riley sanding and based on what we saw at a Hall, these guys are jumping.
It's really skating well so far.
And Ottawa has no answer for it.
No. It's always kind of been with the Leafs when everyone's kind of going, everyone's skating. And honestly, this is the first time we've seen their full forward complement healthy. But it's always been thick when they're skating, and they're just a tough team to contend with.
Yeah.
See, there's that high forward I was talking about earlier in the game coming up between the D.
Yeah. They look like a team that just mini training camp.
Mini training camp, a couple weeks off.
In favor of Toronto.
Sure, Mikheyev feeling pretty good, getting lungs going.
You see on Hull's goal, watch where Matt Murray ends up on Hull's goal, how he slides, and he ends up about 5 or 6 feet off of his post. it's just it's not a natural look for a goaltender to be leaning that heavily. I just don't see any way this guy is any type of I don't know, status prior to the trade or days with him in Pittsburgh, but I don't know where you go with this contract, Dave. Do you buy it in the summer?
Well, if you're the Ottawa Senators, it's like, are you trying to win yet? And if you're not, then maybe you just plow on ahead instead of paying someone else. But as we heard from Pierre Dorian that the rebuild is over, you start to believe that maybe they will make a move and try to turn the ship around. I'm a big believer that you got to try to win as soon as possible and give your guys a chance. So yeah, I'm with you on Matt Murray. There would have been no push back on a rebound there the way he slid out of the crease. So I think ever we can throw a break here. Why don't we take a break? Our technical issues can get smooth, and hopefully we can come back before the period and chat through things.
Sounds good to me, pal.
All right, guys. We'll see you after the break.
Trying to spin with his body. He got knocked off that puck and is out from Puerto Rico. Burakovsky hit by two players. Ranson it in. Gives it off. Back to Mingo. Shoots. Saved by Binnington. Oh my goodness. No way. How did he make that save? How did Mikko Rantanen and Kadri miss? I can't believe it. What a save by Binnington.
Palat behind the net. Around the board, stopped by Palat. Right in front, McDonough with a chance, spins. Oh, and it's blocked by Palat. What a play! Game over.
What a great move. Kucherov bunts this out to McDonough, and this is the move I love. I was not expecting that at all. And when you talk about being in the right place at the right time, and you never know when it's going to be you in a game like this.
Dropping point. Edmund and Sergachev for Tampa. Tyler Bertuzzi with Dylan Larkin. Bertuzzi through. He scored! Move! Tyler Bertuzzi with a beautiful goal!
Oh my God.
And it's 2-0.
Oh my God. Letty starts to play out. What's this move?
And he beat Sergachev and Hedman. That's not bad.
Between the defensemen, between his feet, back in the front, and he fools Vasilevsky. Look at the play. My God.
Martinez feeds it, Glass. Couldn't get a shot away. Lundestrom broke it up, and he'll break with Comtois against Petrangelo. 2-on-1 if they can hurry. Comtois down to Lundestrom. Backhand. And Fleury made the stop. What a save by Fleury across with that left arm.
Another one to put in the archives. What a save, Fleury on Lundestrom as he goes to the backhand. Fleury with the left arm right on the goal line.
Hard around through Jordan Eberle. Matt Barzal trying to catch up to this one. Gets there, pokes it, working on Ristolainen. Got through. Barzal between his legs. Oh, Matt Barzal take a bow.
Uses his speed as that puck gets past the Sabre defenseman. Watch this move. He's got his pound, and then to have the wherewithal to slow down and know where that goaltender's going. He's got him coming all the way across, and Barzal stays in control. And as you mentioned, Brendan, puts the puck in between the legs, and Ristolainen can only wonder what the heck happened there as Barzal strong arms him. He's so good on his edges, so strong on his feet.
Right in front, hit on goal by Carter. The rebound off the post. Rodriguez looking for another one.
Let's take a look. Subban gets a piece of it, then it hits the back of his other glove right on the goal line. Wow, what happened? If this is the save, it's one of the most remarkable saves
One of the most incredible saves of all time.
In the situation room or in Toronto, trying to find every angle and every possible way to determine whether this did not totally cross the goal line or not. Remember, the puck's got to go all the way across.
Ehlers from Scheifele and Connor at 13:57 in the third. Speaking of Connor, here's McDavid, beat him in, shoots and scores! He's done it again! Coast to coast, and this game is tied!
Putting on the Jets once again, and this has been such a tight checking game, but watch this. Not to be denied. That inside move, put a puck to an area, backhand, forehand, elevate over top of the blocker side of Connor Hellebuck, head up, He catches it with speed for the first time in this game. There's 3 Winnipeg Jets that are in between him and the goal, and he's just not going to be denied. A quick reaction by Edmonton, and guess who? Connor McDavid ties the...
Back comes Milano out there with Zegras and Raquel. Raquel will skate that down. He's got Zegras behind the net. He knows he's there. He goes right to him. Zegras, here's get up. Oh, look at this! Oh, it's in! Oh my goodness, what a goal!
As you can see here, he's behind the net. It looks like he's going for the old Michigan. He brings it up. Miller goes to knock it off. He shoots it in front.
Oh, it's
what a
Milano!
pass to Milano. Wow. And you can see Zegras too. He grabs his head. Look at him. He's like, I can't believe it actually worked.
Zibanejad missed the pass. Tyler Myers failed to clear it. Puck is center. Panarin fanned on it. In front. Tyler missed the net. Big pile up in the goal crease. Panarin cuts in front. He shoots. Sprung to Demko. Panarin again. Shoots. Blocked by Demko. Wild action. Demko's lost his blocker. He's waving at the referee. Demko doesn't have his blocker. He's got a bare right hand. There's another shot. And I don't know how he stopped that. Now the referee sees that Demko doesn't have his blocker. Miraculous play in the Vancouver goal crease. And a standing ovation. Bedlam at Rogers Arena.
The referee saw he didn't have his blocker, but he let play continue. It's not like when you lose your helmet. Now here it's ball hockey, 101. We're out on the street, and you can see Demko's lost his blocker. The ref knows it. He's standing right there. Look at JT Miller's in behind. Referee looks at him, again.
The Oilers got the matchup they wanted. Rangers having trouble changing here. McDavid, beautiful move.
That is absolutely outstanding. The pressure of the bar by Barry as he pitches in. And Connor McDavid's got to wait here. He wants to drive it right back into the zone. He looks up, he waits, and then he puts the Jets on. Look at this. Talk about stick handling in the forward booth. What a move around Georgiev to finish it off on the biggest night this year with number 4 going to the Raptors. You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
Just something about playing outdoors that brings you back to your childhood. It's good memories.
A lot of these players grew up playing outdoors. It's a celebration of the game.
It's Seabrook, bouncing puck, got him at the blue line. Here's a chance for Eric Fair. He scores! This is Eric's game. He scored twice outdoors in Pittsburgh, and he opens the scoring for Washington at home. He'd been 1 for 6. Wasn't doing too well in shootouts. Did pretty well in this one. Tyler Bozak with a chance to win it for Toronto. Leafs win the Winter Classic at the Big House. 20 seconds to go. Ryan McDonough covered the puck in the crease. Here's Danny Briere to tie the game. 45,000 on their feet. And Lundqvist stopped him.
One thing about Lundqvist, he doesn't bite. Watch, just solid, stayed on his feet, didn't react to anything, and then a little bit of a fist pump.
Moving right in, it's Malkin on a breakaway. Score! And Evgeny Malkin right between the wickets of Semyon Varlamov. What a move by Malkin.
But then it's taken away from Cleary. Spun by Lupul, blocked. Oh, right around in front, it would not go. Nazem Kadri comes all the way to the far side and off the toe of Jimmy Howard.
Goes into an open wing, and the Red Wings, Dan Cleary's just upended into the Chicago bench, and his skates came flying up in the air, just about hit Ben Eager. And Dan Cleary is just now getting out of the Chicago bench.
Condon had trouble there, and here's Spooner. Oh, and what a glove save is made by Condon. What a stop. Talking about a goal line stance at Gillette Stadium, an incredible stop.
Mechanics waited for Pacioretty, bouncing puck, they score! Brendan Gallagher Poked it in, and it's a 3-0 Montreal lead, and what an exciting goal for the Montreal Canadiens. Here's Pavel Datsyuk, breaks through the middle, Deeks scores! What a goal! Pavel Datsyuk, 4-3 Red Wings. Unbelievable. Sidney Crosby for the win. You could hear Sid screaming yeah all the way to Cole Harbor. Pittsburgh has won this Winter Classic.
Wide, he goes to Boquist, and Boquist shoots. Saved by Campbell. Rebound. Oh, what a stop by Campbell. He takes one away from Oliver Bjorkstrand. What a save.
Campbell makes an unbelievable reaction stop. Campbell makes the shoulder save. He shrugs it to his left. And look at him push strong with his right foot.
So the big eraser from Jack Campbell.
It's Bunting over the line, trying to get around Taves. Michael Bunting playing in his 50th NHL game tonight. Centered in front, Austin Matthews, beauty, and it's 3-0. And Austin Matthews in tight. Showing some great hands there.
Excellent job getting in on the forecheck. Jumping by Devon Taves. Get in there, keep it alive. You know you got support on the other side. Marner thinks everybody's going out to the point. Instead, Matthews left in alone. If you look at a guy on the ice that you have to be focused on, nobody focuses on Matthews, and how about those hands? Just a little bit of a stick handle in front made it look like he was going to go to the backhand, pulled it to the forehand, and up and over.
I mean, the shots, if you just poke around and look, you just see it's 6-5, but the quality of
Tavares across, off the goal. He scores! William Nylander finally gets one to go, and the game is tied at 2.
One-time finish, but John Tavares slithers through the middle of the ice here. Works around Pionk and then around Forbort to elude the long stick of Forbort going for the poke check here. Now he finds the lane behind Dubois. The pass is on the tape. Nylander, perfect shot past Connor Hellebuck. And the Leafs have tied this game at 2 on a beautiful play from Tavares to Nylander.
Across for Kerfoot. Now Tavares for Marner. A little spin move and he scores!
Nice move by Mitch Marner. Tucks it in on the backhand. And the Leafs strike first.
Oh, this is good stretch pass. It gets knocked away in the midst of a change for the Golden Knights. Good job, Lecision comes across, but this puck comes to the corner. And Marner's going to get left all alone. A great play by Tavares out to Marner, and the little move by him. These are the type of skill level, but see, little spin move to the backhand beats Leonard past the right pad.
For success for the Canadiens a week ago in Edmonton, but that's a tough game to play. Here's a chance, scores! Austin Matthews takes a puck away, and he's got his 35th of the year.
And look at his reaction. He can't even believe what just transpired there. We talk so often about the players' hand-eye coordination. Well, this is a combination of amazing hand-eye. Knocks it down, gets it to an area, just quick release, and that happened in a span of a second or two. Just thinking that you have an opportunity to clear it was Suzuki. Instead, quick hands, quick release, off the post and in, and that reaction says it all. The league scoring leader continues on.
There's just something about playing outdoors that brings you back to your childhood. It's good memories.
A lot of these players grew up playing outdoors. It's a celebration of the game.
Red Seabrook, bouncing puck, got him at the blue line. Here's a chance for Eric Fair. He scores! This is Eric's game. He scored twice outdoors in Pittsburgh, and he opens the scoring for Washington at home. He'd been 1 for 6. Wasn't doing too well in shootouts. Did pretty well in this one. Tyler Bozak with a chance to win it for Toronto. Leafs win the Winter Classic at the Big House.
20 seconds to go. Ryan McDonough covered the puck in the crease. Here's Danny Briere to tie the game. 45,000 on their feet. And Lundqvist stopped him.
One thing about Lundqvist, he doesn't bite. Watch. Just solid, stayed on his feet, didn't react to anything, and then a little bit of a fist pump.
Moving right in, it's Malkin on a breakaway. Score! And Evgeny Malkin right between the wickets of Semyon Varlamov. And what a move by Malkin.
But then it's taken away from Cleary. Spun by Lupo, blocked. Oh, right around in front, it would not go. Azam Kadri comes all the way to the far side and off the toe of Jimmy Howard.
Goes into an open wing, and the Red Wings, Dan Cleary's just upended into the Chicago bench, and his skates came flying up in the air, just about hit Ben Eager, and Dan Cleary is just now getting out of the Chicago bench.
Condon had trouble there, and here's Spooner. Oh, and what a glove save is made by Condon. What a stop. Talking about a goal line stance at Gillette Stadium, an incredible stop.
Mechanics waited for Pacioretty, bouncing puck, they score! Brendan Gallagher poked it in, and it's a 3-0 Montreal lead, and what an exciting goal for the Montreal Canadiens. Here's Pavel Datsyuk, breaks through the middle, Deeks scores! What a goal! Pavel Datsyuk, 4-3 Red Wings.
Unbelievable.
Sidney Crosby for the win. You could hear Sid screaming yeah all the way to Cole Harbor. Pittsburgh has won this Winter Classic.
I'm Nick Kypreos. I played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sorry. That's what I assume. In to you guys. Hi. Steve Dangle here on Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Good gracious. We had some connection issues. I don't know if we still do. Sure hope we don't. But in an e situation, maybe I'll be really bad. And if I'm really bad, well, no, maybe I'll be really good. On the e-bug, that's how this works. The e-bug is undefeated in the NHL. Scott Foster, David Ayers, undefeated. Maybe I'll be really good. And then someone wishing for me to fail will yell and scream about it in a YouTube video, and it'll get like 1 million views. Notice I said like 1 million. It was less. How you doing? Oh! There's a hockey game on. Isn't that great? For those of you who just, well, you've been here longer than I have. But I was watching the game. My night off, I watched the Leafs.
Well, that was, yeah.
Leafs scored 2 goals in the same penalty kill. Justin Paul is the first of the season, and Ilya Mikheyev getting one as well. I think he's leading the team in shots so far in this game. And Mitch Marner draws a power play. But we don't want a power play. We want the Leafs to be shorthanded so they can get the offense going. Leafs scored 2 shorthanded goals on the same penalty kill. For the first time, honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember if this ever happened.
Line up against Matthews, and right here from the beginning, great puck movement, side to side, and look to see a little late reaction from Murray. Not sure where that puck was. Now the delay here by Marner.
Here's Mitch.
This is just holding with the stick.
Here's Mitch. Yeah, you can't do that. 2 minutes where you can't do that. For most of the first period, the Leafs had as many shorthanded goals as the Senators had shots. Now they have a chance to, well, you never know. Maybe the Sens have a chance right now. Maybe this is how the Sens get back into the game. Sloppy hockey in the first period. I tweeted that. Some people got offended.
Like, what did you expect?
Not sure if that didn't go off.
I expected sloppy hockey. I wasn't saying it as an insult. It was just
down low. It's broken up
sloppy.
by Mete. Matthews gets it back. Riley
You
back
see the
to
individual
Matthews.
talent.
Here's
It's all
Marner.
still there. Holy smokes!
Tavares couldn't reach that.
Yeah, the power play's starting to
Might have
click.
been disrupted there by Mete in front.
Their first 2 attempts were stinky.
Loses the puck,
But you see the stats. They're first in the NHL since November 1st. They're second in the NHL all season on the power play. But their first 2, I was like, okay, they look rusty. This looks much better.
That's off target, and it will wrap around to the right
You don't have
point,
to score
kept
every
in by Riley. Matthews,
Be a
another
threat.
look.
Make them
That
work.
is blocked by Mete.
Get the goalie out, tire the defense out, get everyone moving around. Be dangerous.
William Nylander up high. Gonna crisscross
I thought
with
Will had a tough first. Didn't even
back
beat.
from Matthews, shooting that,
Drew a
and
penalty.
it deflected up onto the screen. and out of
Matthews
play.
can't
What
score
a difference between the
tonight.
early
He's
power play
too many
in
goals
period
scored.
1 compared
It's
to
got to
this
be
one
like
here in
Hall
period 2. Marner looks
or
like he's
Mikheyev.
going to shoot.
Okay.
Got the
Look
defenseman
at
down and look at Murray. Just a little
Mitch.
bit of that off the stick.
That's on you,
as
Johnny.
Tavares
That's
was
a
right on the
beautiful pass.
doorstep,
Yeah,
ready
he
to
knows it.
tap that
That's-
one in.
don't
And
swear.
Pretty good read by the Ottawa goaltender to get just enough of that. And you could
Do
see
not.
the reaction as Tavares was watching it on the big screen.
So 42 seconds remaining. And another face-off win by the Leafs off Spezza. That one
This is
centered. Mikheyev will swing
Cap
it back.
espresso.
Bunting unable to
because I needed
deflect that in
something,
front
but not
of
too
the
much.
net as Spezza
This is
plays it
not
back to the
like a
line
New
for
Year's
Sandin. Gets it back again.
Sludgeva.
Rasmus Sandin sizes
Oh,
it up, takes the shot, and that ends up on the netting.
Here, by the way,
Looks like
everybody.
the first, it's an onslaught here for Murray, and you know, I thought it was a pretty solid first period, except for that 27 seconds
Shout out
and
Rob
those 2
Malloy.
quick chances he wasn't
He's
able
on
to
the
get a
chat.
piece of. But you got to just draw on your experiences. He spent the month.
By the
as
way,
they
we're
say,
aware
down
of what's
in
going
the
on
AHL, but
technically and
because of all the
as
cancellations,
we get
only 2
information.
games, so he's just back under
And also,
fire. He gotta
thank
settle
you
himself
very much,
down and
Nick
keep competing.
Kypreos and Justin Bourne, for
Spezza feeds the point.
doing their
In at
best
the
and
line by
doing the
Kasha.
first period.
Here's Kasha. Bunting.
Listen, these streams are
Point
very
for
fun.
Sandin.
But they're also not
That's
easy.
Ilya Mikheyev.
And to do
Quickly
it with
moved to
technical
Kasha, back to
difficulties and you don't
Mikheyev.
know what's
Sandin
going
with
on.
the penalty done. That's kicked away by Murray as Holden has returned
As the
to the
Leaf
ice.
power play
Bunting
expired.
from the corner
0
tried to come out
shots.
in front.
Didn't feel that
And
way.
was checked
I
on
guess
the
0
play
shots.
there.
No. Anyway,
Sent back in.
really admirable job that Bourne and Kipper did.
Spezza gets it back from
Because
Sandin. Sidestep Zoo.
that's not easy.
Here's Jason Spezza turning
It's hard
back
enough
away
when
from Connor Brown.
I mean
Mikheyev's
you're hosting
it
on your
again.
own for the first
Gets
time,
it to Hall. And now Sandin.
and then you're
Back to
having
Justin
technical
Hall,
issues.
and he fired that.
Don't shirt those guys. They
Off.
it's
Brown
hard.
stick it out.
It's very difficult. Robert Malloy on the chat. Jessica asked, do the Leafs move Nick Ritchie? He's not playing tonight. I wouldn't read too much into that. Oh dear.
Gets it all plugged up and then
Oh, that's how Justin Hall got the messed up nose. I didn't know that.
Started the short-handed onslaught as Hall.
I don't know. I kind of
really aggressive on that kill.
Nick
jumped up
Ritchie
and
is.
joined the play to make it a 2-on-1.
You all right, bud?
Partnership there
Sorry.
in the
I have to
absence of
address this.
Wilson tonight as they go over the last
My
sequence.
dog
Puck out at center,
wanted to
but
walk into the room, and I had
back
to
down into the Ottawa
interrupt
zone.
And this pair is
stream and
looking
let
good,
him.
too. Biega getting his
He almost
opportunity
tripped over
here.
the internet cord.
Comfortable so far.
And
Hasn't
you are
gotten
soaking
into too much
wet.
trouble.
I guess he was just outside in the snow. Hey, Iggy. Good boy. I disagree with the decision to scratch Nick. Ooh, stop the gamble. I mean, he was battling an illness before the stoppage. Supposedly it was not COVID, so you never know. He could be recovering from that. It can take a long time to recover from even something like flu. Like I remember a few years ago, I think it was Ron Hainsey and Nikita Zaitsev both got it at the same time.
Give a little spark after the penalty.
And
Watch what speed does here. It starts from a standstill.
they were
does a nice
never the
job of
same after.
curling to his
Never.
right and then gets his legs going. Creates
And I
a little
remember Hainsey,
separation,
who was
but Jack Campbell out
kind of up and down with popularity in Leafs Nation. He was a good season. Then he was until he came back and he was never the same.
Worse than that, there's the retaliation that goes in.
Stand for the second penalty of the game.
So back to back.
I disagree with the decision to scratch Nick Ritchie if he's totally healthy, because I thought he was actually finally playing his best hockey. right before the stoppage. This isn't a game involved. And you know, this is the ironically, this is the healthiest forward group anyway, been all season. Their defense obviously has a couple holes. Lilligren, Muzzin. Essentially, their shutdown pair for a while is Marner stopped there by Matt Murray.
Well, don't miss the new comedy run, The Burbs, starring Andrew Fung from Kim's Convenience. Coming this January on CBC and CBC Gem. Run the Burbs.
The puck keeps finding its way.
Before we get to any more questions, at the next commercial break, whenever that is, we have to reset the stream. It's going to cut out for a second, and then it's going to come back. We're doing that for a reason, because obviously the connection quality is inadequate right now. So we want to fix it. Technical difficulties, everyone's working really hard. Please have patience. The Leafs are winning. I'm down. Oh my God, why do I talk? Okay, he missed. I'm still good. Leafs on the power play. 4-on-2 here. Ooh. Oh! Leafs have had a couple wide open nets like that where they just couldn't find at their feet.
It's Brandstrom backhand, and that
oh!
went wide. Mete up there, both defensemen. Now Foreman, and that's kicked away.
It's gonna sound as I knock over my espresso. Cool.
So Ottawa comes close to a short-handed goal. Nylander starts
I'm so
back.
sad.
Here's Tavares.
This is gonna sound funny, but this is a difficult game
Matthews in front. Stop rebound.
for Campbell because he's faced so few shots.
Well, that's about 35 seconds of just trading chances end to end. You can see Matthews with the loop there creates the 2-on-1. Nice job of Morgan Rielly. Deliver the shooter to your goaltender. You got faith in Campbell. And here's the little collision between Tavares. He gets tied up with Matthews. That creates another chance at the other end. 3-on-2. Jack Campbell never even had to make that stop. And then Murray with two good ones at the other end as Matthews was point
I don't know
blank
if Murray's
twice,
having
and
the
Murray
best time
able to shut the door and hold on.
But I think after a long layoff, you probably want a bunch of shots to at least familiar,
in the game.
get acclimated, get a puck. Campbell hasn't exactly had that. This game, the sloppy nature of it, and what I just recited about Jack Campbell, like it's got ridiculous sloppy potential. You know, beyond the fact that it's also a Leaf Sens game. It's not lost on me that last year the Leaf blew a 5-1 lead against the Sens.
Stay out of the box. You got to get your lines together and get going, get a little momentum. It's been a tough coaching battle. Short-handed already, losing two of your top centermen, and now you're forced to play your penalty killers. Demand a lot on them.
And right from the get-go in both the first and the second periods. Here's Wayne Simmons. Watched by Stutzla. Around it comes to TJ Brody. Brody sends it toward the net, and
Stop
Murray will hold
Murray.
on.
You know, I
So
really
the Leafs
want
are
the Leafs to win,
4
obviously.
on the power play, but leading
Sure,
on
Matt Murray,
the
man.
streak of 2 shorthanded goals.
All right, commercial. And we're going to cut so we can fix our issues. Watch the Leafs game. Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle here on the Sportsnet channel. Do not go away. Oh. Hi.
To Shabbat walking in. That went off ball and went wide of the net.
Oh, man. Oh, that looks better, I think.
Here's Hall, Hitmaning the puck. Kerfoot spinning it to Tavares. That shot.
Welcome back to Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Listen, if you've been watching all season, you know we haven't had a stream like this. Oh, we got a goal. TJ Brody. Everyone who doesn't score is getting one.
What a read by Brody to jump down, and coming off his first goal in 46, the last game he gets 2 in
We're
2
having
games,
some
but at the other
tech
end, this is
issues
a
tonight,
gorgeous
but the
chance.
Leafs are having
By
none.
Shabbat hit the back of the skate of Hall, never even made it into Campbell. And Kerfoot with some patience there. Brody makes the pass, but then continues down. And you can see Murray gets tied up with Shabbat. His own players battling with John
Way to go,
Tavares
TJ Brody.
in front, and watch Shabbat. He doesn't have his hand on his stick. He
A
pushes
wraparound
his
goal,
goalie
no
to the
less.
other side, and Brody on the backhand, a bit of a difficult play. Goes off the skate of Stützle and stuffs it in
Stützle
open
with the
side
assist.
for a 3-0 lead.
1 goal all of last
Again,
year, and
I don't want to be a downer.
46 in Edmonton.
Leafs are winning 3-0. That was their first even strength goal of the game. 2 shorties before that. I don't want to be a downer.
I don't think he would have been.
But this game's got some
TJ Brody, the
sloppy
back-to-back
potential.
games on a scoring streak.
Stützle overskates it and then just shovels it in.
We're less than halfway through regulation.
Brody from
You hear that, everyone behind the scenes? We're less than halfway through regulation.
We want to have a little shout out to Chatham because they
I just got here. My night's fine. How's yours?
And one of the snowplows is named Floaty
Listen,
Plow.
it's Murphy's Law. It's one of those nights. As we were talking about, and I'll show you after the Leafs hopefully stop this attempt. Shout out Alex Biega, by the way. First game as a Leaf. In the group chat, we were talking about, like, oh my God, how are we going to fix this? And then I spilled my coffee. So while we were resetting, I had to quickly go and get a towel. Water it is. Better for you anyway. That's not true.
The Leafs move it through center, and it's Marner going to steer it down to get a change. David Camp on the forecheck as Brandstrom plays it to Lassie Thompson. Here's Thompson ahead.
Once again, if you didn't hear before,
Able to work its way out, but
we had to reset the stream as Eli McKayev cuts. Can't quite get there. If you didn't hear before the stream, or before we had to reset the stream,
Ottawa zone.
Another example of McKayev speed, as Elliot said, the most notable.
what Kipper and Bourne did was really difficult.
Anticipating getting back, he looks he's taking full advantage of.
There's Sandin redlining in again. Sandin playing for the first time since December 5th when he had that knee-on-knee collision with Neil Pionk in Winnipeg.
Like, you're filling in. It's unfamiliar territory, right? It's fun. These streams are fun. But it's unfamiliar territory. It's always going to be a little difficult as the Leafs get a partial break here. Engvall! Can't get it through. It's always going to be difficult filling in for anything. You throw me on Kipper and Bourne, you throw me on their show, I'm going to struggle. I definitely won't be as good as them. I'll tell you that much. Won't be as comfortable. But if while I was filling in, someone was like, by the way, the radio doesn't work, I might be panicking a little bit.
I'm not looking to make a trade.
Just a little bit.
Of value. That kind of speed and that kind of size and the ability to penalty kill makes him a valuable piece of the chess set.
So shout out to Kipper and Bourne for the job they did. That's not easy. That's not easy at all. And shout out you in the chat. We got some questions here. Leo, my 18-month-old son on here. Leo, does the salary cap grow dramatically over the next 5 years? Well, it was on its way to growing, and then Omicron was like, "Sup?"
Be some good competition going forward here with
So basically, teams lose an unbelievable amount of money for every home game they don't sell tickets. So there's no fans at this Leafs game tonight, which is going to result in the loss of roughly $2 million. All that adds up. Canada generates a lot of money for the NHL. I think I read somewhere the 7 Canadian teams generate something like 30% of the, it's either the revenue or the profit, I'm not sure. And because, you know, people were flocking back to games, not everyone was selling out, but tickets were sold. Games were going well.
But Ottawa able to clear.
The players are in debt to the owners, and they were on their way to getting out of that debt, and which means the cap was going to go up. And now it's kind of up in the air.
Quick counter here, and Kachuk shot off the stick up Viega.
So your question was, is the cap going to go up significantly in the next 5 years? 5 years is a long time. It's 2027 right now as we head to commercial break. Hi. Let's watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle and Justin Bourne and Nick Kypreos. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. 5 years is a long time from now. So I do think the cap will go up, but in the next year or two, that's going to be tough. Mike, it's Tavares' 900th game. I did not know that. Any fun memories to share? Oh, okay. I was at the Tavares Day game. That was against the... So, John Tavares has returned to play the New York Islanders in Long Island. Did not go well at all. The Leafs got stomped. Gotta throw this out there. Underrated sin of Babcock. Like, people talk about healthy scratching Jason Spezza in the home opener. He played Garrett Sparks in Tavares' return to Long Island. Get a clue. That game meant a lot. And if I'm not mistaken, the first non-backup goalie game the Leafs played against the New York Islanders with John Tavares on the Leafs, the first Frederick Anderson game, they won. I'm not saying they would have won that game if Freddie had played, but Sparks was having a brutal season. Second half of a back-to-back, you feed him to the Wolves? Like, no wonder the players didn't like him. Anyway, sorry, what was the question? Oh, Tavares' 900th game. Any fun memories to share? So anyway, that game goes terribly. Then the next game was against the Buffalo Sabres at home. Everyone goes ballistic for John Tavares. Huge ovation. And then he scores the first Leafs goal of the game. Wonderful. Also, I interviewed him when he was with the Oshawa Generals, and I was still very new. I mean, I was basically his age. He was 17 or 18. He hadn't been drafted yet. He was 17 or 18. Oh! And how? No way! Absolutely no way! No way!
After scoring one to make it 3-0.
Well, Brody's got 3 points in the night, and I think he just got another one if you count this.
Get out of here!
Campbell's all in, tried for the
no way!
Yeah, good battle, but how about Campbell pushing himself?
Drew, hat pick.
Good job here of trying to get a piece of it, misses.
Oh!
Gets the stick of
How
Brody
did this
and
not go in
toe
then?
of Campbell,
Oh, that's actually a very good play. I thought that was Brown taking another shot. That's Brody. I don't know how on purpose he did it. Look at my hair.
Brody's first assist was looking the opposite way.
But Brody like shovels it to Jack Campbell.
His stick saved another one. Would have made it an interesting game.
Brody came into the game with
I'm
7
stunned.
points. He has a goal
Holy.
and 2 assists tonight.
Wow. Wow. I told you this game has sloppy potential.
Got there first, and Hall will
No lead is safe. Okay, anyway, so I interviewed John Tavares in Oshawa when he was still with the Oshawa Generals. I think he's still 17 years old. I would have been...
A little adjustment by DJ Smith and maybe trying to pull back the ice a little bit of
I think I had just turned 20. Like I was like junior eligible. And I had my Morants. Instead of those little recorders or even just using your iPhone, I had to bring this big Morants because I was an intern at the Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and that's what they had. And so I just go, well, I didn't know how to do interviews at the time. So I just go, John, might have even called him Mr. Tavares. First of all, how are you? And I didn't think the interview had begun. I thought I was just asking another person, how are you? And he's like, yeah, well, you know, in the first period. And I had to make sure my Morants was turned on, recording the interview, because I was like, oh, I guess the interview's begun. He was a weird junior player, man. I went there, and I remember, you know, I got one of those like high up scout seats, and I'm here to watch John Tavares. And the other team, I don't remember who they were playing. They double teamed him all night. Didn't look like he was able to accomplish anything, and I remember coming away from it, you know, not really being that impressed. And then at the end of the first period, you look and he's got 2 assists. You're like, what? He's not a flashy player. He can do flashy things. I mean, he's got great hands and a wicked shot, but whoa! But generally speaking, John Tavares, I always say, is the little thing king. Great along the boards.
Takes over for the Leafs and gets them pointed out of the zone. Leaned on there and taken down by Sanford, and it will be another penalty as Tavares looked across and kind of raised his arms.
Sanford getting another one?
Will draw his second of the night in the 5th against Ottawa.
That's actually going to be his third of the
That's
night.
his third of the game, isn't it?
A needless one.
I mean, you
It's
can't
an extra
do that.
play, almost a little bit of a didn't quite get the slew foot in, but got the arm up.
You can get mad all you want. You can't do that.
You're already down 3-0. You've spent
Almost kind of a slew
4
foot.
minutes in the penalty
Not real.
box, and now his
I'd have to get
reaction
another
tells
look at it.
all, and I'm sure his head coach is feeling very similar.
That's at least his second of the game.
Just a little overzealous in the neutral zone.
A lot has happened tonight. I don't necessarily remember it all.
Yeah, well, just had a look across the ice, didn't he? At the penalized player. The Leafs.
Leafs to the power play again.
Who had sustained pressure on their last power
Was
play.
this number 5 for them? 4 or 5? It's had a lot.
Connor Brown goes to work short-handed.
The game is opening up a bit, and the Sens are slowly but surely getting more shots on goal.
Leafs are 0 for 4 in this game. That's just the second time all year.
Leafs 6 straight games with a power play goal according to the stats. Yeah, I don't know if any of that counts. Doesn't it feel like this is like the beginning? Yeah, it's definitely a penalty. That's a shame. This is the beginning of like an entirely new season.
Well, for Connor Brown, what a great job of just really
Poor Johnny.
being a thorn in the side of this power play. He started it off with a
He
good
draws one,
individual effort that
takes
went
one away.
off the knob of the
Ooh!
stick of
Was that the
Campbell.
butt
That
end
was
of the
an
stick?
aggressive move that turns the puck over, and you can see Tavares with the errant stick.
Yeah,
right
it's
down
just
on
a
the
silly
skate.
goose move there, John.
Creates the penalty for some 4-on-4 hockey.
Can't
for
do that.
minute 26.
More questions. Oh dear. Jesse, Leafs are 0 for 3 on the power play. A little out of date there. But I have 2 shorthanded goals. Is it September? Oh yeah! Wasn't that a thing in the preseason? It's a thing of the past though. Power play figured it out for sure. Garrett, how do we fix the Oilers' help? Bro, like, a lot of teams are struggling right now, you know, with COVID and everything. A lot of teams have an excuse to be bad right now. For example, the Montreal Canadiens. Have you seen their roster? It's shocking. I cannot believe they're playing games. Like, the taxi squad was implemented to keep teams afloat when they have COVID issues.
Matthews back in. He's got
But
Nylander
it
with
almost
him
feels
now.
like
Got the
if
shot
you
away.
think
Murray stops
you're in the
that.
middle of a lost season,
And now
you could really
Craig Batherson over the line. Kachuk
just
across
punt.
one time, and Campbell came across to make that stop. Off Brandstrom. Ilya Mikheyev. Here comes TJ Brody.
Sort of
again.
seems like that's what they're doing.
2-on-1, along with Dermott in front, and Dermott couldn't knock that down. A 2-on-1 for the Leaf defenseman.
Yeah, don't expect that, do you? From Brody and Dermott
Ooh.
on a 4-on-4.
They'd expect anything from TJ Brody tonight.
Thank you, producer Rob, for confirming Sanford's third penalty of the game. Naughty. Anyway, so sorry, I said all that about Montreal.
An abbreviated power play for Ottawa. Back with
The Oilers don't
20 seconds
really have that excuse, man.
Tavares penalty.
Blue line's
Stages of
hurting.
this second period.
You know, Mike Smith's out. That's bad.
Kickstart a comeback with a goal.
Man, they need Flower.
Shabbat.
It's like,
Around it goes for Mete.
shut up and kiss. Like, doesn't it seem like such an obvious match? You know what I mean?
With it is Kerfoot. And through
The problem is the worse the Oilers do,
Chase.
the more the Chicago Blackhawks look at them
Shots on goal, 25,
and they go,
13, Toronto.
price just went up.
Off the stick of Watson.
First of all, it's Marc-Andre Fleury.
Viega.
Second of all,
Yeah,
you stink.
quickly, and the Leafs are out, and it's Engvall to the Ottawa
That's
line
also
with
third and
Spezza.
fourth of all.
Walking in, Spezza tried to go short side. Missed the target. Boomerangs back into the Leaf zone.
The best position for a team looking to acquire a player to be in is you can take a, or leave the trade. The Oilers cannot afford to not improve their goaltending, defense, or both. They should not suck. They should be able to stay afloat when McDavid and Draisaitl aren't scoring at a 180-point pace, for crying out loud.
And now Bishop picked up there by Sandin as he went to the net. Michael Bunting starts back. Sends it down into the Ottawa zone. Gambrell back there. Shabbat able to work it ahead to Odezu. Rink wide. Trying to connect with Logan Shaw. And now Morgan Riley. Now on a 5-game point streak.
Ooh, Brad.
Bunting and in deep.
I like this. Will the juniors be rescheduled? I think so.
Down along the boards.
I do.
Here's Bunting for
I think it'll be in the summer.
All the way back into Leaf zone.
As someone who covers hockey, that is not ideal.
Will loft that through center,
But
nearly on the tape.
I want to see it.
Mikheyev. Mikheyev absorbs a hit and stays with the puck.
Ideally,
Back to Viega.
man, like when do you even do it? So the last possible day they can award the Stanley Cup, as it stands, is June 30th.
Right to Jack Campbell.
You'd think you'd like the juniors after that.
In the second period, Kasha from long
I know a lot of you
turned aside, flipped
would,
the hit
oh
for
boy.
Kachuk, who was
I know a lot of
the
you
lead
would
line,
watch
and now Tierney's
in
on
July.
to Kachuk, fires
I
right
mean, you're
on.
hardcore fans, right?
Campbell's got that with
That's why you're
1
here.
minute
You're
6
hardcore
to
fans.
go.
Feel like most people would.
Shots are 26-14. It's
July
been a big
hockey's
night
tough.
for TJ Brody, looking for more.
Man, I work in hockey for a living. My wife's a teacher. And when I found out she was pregnant, we knew that our son was going to be born in either late June or early July. And we both said, hey, isn't that great? And then the Stanley Cup playoffs began in August for the first time ever. Literally never happened. That was really tough. So that's why I'm anti-summer hockey, but I'm always pro more hockey. So yeah, I hope they play the World Juniors. I'd like to see them find a way to do something with the Memorial Cup in there as well. By the way, you're watching Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, all of them, all at once, in the same group chat, whether they're iPhone or Android. So it's annoying, you know. Use emojis that not everyone's phone is going to understand. Cat, is the Mikheyev goal going to make hat picks? Ooh. Not going to lie to you, Cat. Probably not. I'd have to watch it again. Is that even the nicest Leafs goal of the night? TJ Brody scored on a wraparound. That's weird. Man, he's fast. Ilya goes zoom. I missed watching Ilya go zoom. It's very fun. Didn't he play like one game? He came back from like a 2-month injury. He played one game and the world stopped. Danny, if you were Kyle Dubas, okay, I'm very tall. I have lots of money. I have amazing suits. My office is surprisingly underwhelming. Anyway, he is very tall, by the way. He's at least 6'1". Danny, if you were Kyle Dubas, would you make a trade before the deadline?
The University of North Dakota has been a big part of
You know,
a lot of good youngsters.
oh, here comes Willie. It really is a shame that last year's playoffs ended the way they did. Because generally speaking, I thought he did a lot of the right things. He went out and he got extra guys for a long playoff run. Like, if you look at the Leafs right now, at least up front, they're not hurting for depth, man. They're fine. So I don't really think they need to acquire anybody up front. Michael Bunting's been as good as you could possibly ask. Kerfoot, super underrated. Liljegren, Sandin, Dermott, like, I feel like the depth has improved. Justin Hall has struggled. That's probably the main red flag. Peter Mrazek is still a pretty unknown quantity.
To deny that last rush.
Oh, Brady Tkachuk not having a good time. So, like, I mean, maybe a defensive. Yeah, maybe a defensive depth acquisition, but right now we're getting a look at the Leafs' defensive depth as we go to another commercial break with Alex Biega. We'll see. You know, to put this into perspective, so forget the fact that it's New Year's Day. Yesterday was New Year's Eve. I had to remind myself 19 times today that tomorrow is Sunday and not Monday. None of us know what time it is, and time doesn't matter. But they said something off the top of the broadcast that melted my brain. There are 52 games left. $52. It is January 1st. Last year, there were 56 games total. So think of how long this season has been already. Okay, cool. There's almost as many games left to play as there were played in all of last season. So what do the Leafs need at the deadline? Well, we got quite some time to figure that out. I don't know if all the postponed games have been rescheduled yet. There's going to be a lot of hockey. This is going to be a very condensed schedule. Arthur. Hey, Arthur. How difficult will it be for the Leafs to play all 82 games? Is it still possible? I mean, it's definitely still possible. Like, do you mean... Like, okay, listen. Have you seen the Montreal Canadiens? Have you seen their roster? Dude, the NHL has made a decision that they are playing this season come hell or high water. It's happening. So will they play all 82 games? Yes, absolutely. Will they be totally healthy and have a full roster the whole time? Probably not. But no one... Oh, I was having so much fun that I didn't realize it was intermission. When Jack Campbell left the net, I was like, oh, he's going to chat with his friends on the bench. We have a top 10 video, some Sportsnet original content. Would you like to watch it? Oh, you would? Well, here it comes, and we'll be right back after this. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, and enjoy.
Trying to spin with his body. He got knocked off that puck and is out from Puerto Rico. Burakovsky hit by 2 players. Rams it in. Gives it off. Back to Mingo. Shoots. Saved by Binnington. Oh my goodness. No way. How did he make that save? How did Mikko Rantanen and Kadri miss? I can't believe it. What a save by Binnington.
Pollock behind the net. Around the board, stopped by Pollock. Right in front, McDonough with a chance, spins. Oh, and it's blocked by Pollock. What a play! Game over.
What a great move. Kucherov bunts this out to McDonough, and this is the move I love. I was not expecting that at all. And when you talk about being in the right place at the right time, and you never know when it's going to be you in a game like this.
Dropping point. Hedman and Sergachev for Tampa. Tyler Bertuzzi with Dylan Larkin. Bertuzzi through. He scores! Tyler Bertuzzi with a beautiful goal!
Oh my God.
And it's 2-0.
Oh my God. Letty starts to play out. What's this move?
And he beat Sergachev and Hedman. That's
between
not bad.
I mean, between the defensemen, between his feet, back in the front, and he fools Vasilevsky. Look at the play. My God.
Martinez feeds it. Glass couldn't get a shot away. Lundestrom broke it up, and he'll break with Comtois against Petrangelo. 2-on-1 if they can hurry. Comtois down to Lundestrom. Backhand. And Fleury made the stop. What a save by Fleury across with that left arm.
Another one to put in the archives. What a save, Fleury on Lundestrom as he goes to the backhand. Fleury with the left arm right on the goal line.
Hard around through Jordan Eberle. Matt Barzal trying to catch up to this one. Gets there, pokes it, working on Ristolainen. Got through. Barzal between his legs. Oh, Matt Barzal take a bow.
Uses his speed as that puck gets past the Sabre defenseman. Watch this move. He's got his pound. And then to have the wherewithal to slow down and know where that goaltender's going. He's got him coming all the way across, and Barzal stays in control. And as you mentioned, Brendan, puts the puck in between the legs. And Ristolainen can only wonder what the heck happened there as Barzal strong arms him. He's so good on his edges, so strong on his feet.
Right in front, tipped on goal by Carter. The rebound off the post. Rodriguez looking for another one.
Let's take a look. Subban gets a piece of it, then it hits the back of his other glove right on the goal line. Wow, what happened? If this is the save, it's one of the most remarkable saves
One of the most incredible saves of all time.
Of all time. In the situation room or in Toronto, trying to find every angle and every possible way to determine whether this did not totally cross the goal line or not. Remember, the puck's got to go all the way across.
Ehlers from Scheifele and Connor at 13:57 in the third. Speaking of Connor, here's McDavid. Beat him in, shoots and scores! He's done it again! Coast to coast, and this game is tied!
Putting on the Jets once again, and this has been such a tight checking game, but watch this. Not to be denied. That inside move, put a puck to an area, backhand, forehand, elevate over top of the blocker side of Connor Hellebuck, head up. He catches it with speed for the first time in this game. There's 3 Winnipeg Jets that are in between him and the goal, and he's just not going to be denied. A quick reaction by Edmonton, and guess who? Connor McDavid ties it.
Back comes Milano out there with Zegras and Raquel. Raquel will skate that down. He's got Zegras behind the net. He knows he's there. He goes right to him. Zegras, here's get up. Oh, look at this! Oh, damn! Oh my goodness! What a goal!
As you can see here, he's behind the net. It looks like he's going for the old Michigan. He brings it up. Miller goes to knock it off. He shoots it in front.
Oh, it's
what
Milano!
a pass to Milano. Wow! And you can see Zegras too. He grabs his head. Look at him. He's like, I can't believe it actually worked.
Zibanejad missed the pass. Tyler Myers failed to clear it. Puck is centered. Panarin bang on it. In front. Connor missed the net. Big pile up in the goal crease. Panarin cuts in front. He shoots. Sprung is Demko. Panarin again. Shoots. Blocked by Demko. Wild action. Demko's lost his blocker. He's waving at the referee. Demko doesn't have his blocker. He's got a bare right hand. There's another shot. And I don't know how he stopped that. Now the referee sees that Demko doesn't have his blocker. Miraculous play in the Vancouver goal crease. And a standing ovation. Bedlam at Rogers Arena.
The referee saw he didn't have his blocker, but he let play continue. It's not like when you lose your helmet. Now here it's ball hockey, 101. We're out on the street. And you can see Demko's lost his blocker. The ref knows it. He's standing right there. Look at JT Miller's in behind. Referee looks at him again.
Oilers got the matchup they wanted. Rangers having trouble changing here. McDavid, beautiful move. In on the
That is absolutely outstanding. The pressure, the bar by Barrie as he pitches in. Connor McDavid's got to wait here. He wants to drive it right back into the zone. He looks up, he waits, and then he puts the Jets on. Look at this. Talk about stick handling in the phone booth. What a move around Georgiev to finish it off on the biggest night this year with number 4 going to the Raptors. You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
McDavid's reaction to his own goal is hilarious. And this is so much of my face. Oh my gosh. Hi. Welcome back. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. All of them. It's 3-0. Toronto Maple Leafs heading into the third period. What a journey. What a journey. If you've been here all night, what a journey. This started as my night off. Justin Bourne, Nick Kypreos filling in for me. They had technical difficulties, though. So I was texting with producer Drew, and I threw on my cape, and I decided to be a hero. And I said, don't you worry, I'll save the stream. And then I joined. And there were still technical difficulties. So we restarted the stream. And now I'm back. The only flaw is my face. Other than that, everything's running perfectly fine. Leafs winning 3-0. 2 shorthanded goals on the same power play. Same penalty kill. I still have not seen from Sportsnet stats or anything when the last time. Oh, here we go. This was in the first period. Justin Hall and Ilya Mikheyev from Sportsnet stats. They tweeted me. Those were the fastest 2 shorthanded goals for the Leafs since November 16th, 1986. I was not alive. We're going to look that game up. Leafs, November 16, 1986. It's wild. You can just look this up. So it was against the Chicago Blackhawks. Leafs won 7-3. That's a tough night. Wow. The 2 goals that were scored 27 seconds apart. This is how long ago 1986 was. Scored by Boreas Salming, unassisted, and Greg Therrien. It was Salming's 3rd of the season and Therrien's 1st. Now, wait a minute. Because that was Justin Hall's 1st of the season. How many goals is that for Mikheyev on the season? Oh, it's his 1st too. Well, that's not as fun. Man, the Leafs really did beat them up that night. The first goal in the first period was scored by Gary Lehman. One of the assists went to Ken Reggett, who was a goalie. Holy mackerel. Boreas Salming. I didn't even know he was a Leaf in 1986. I wasn't alive, which is why I didn't know that. Questions before we begin the third period. Richard, will the North Division return this season? I don't think there's a chance. No one wants that, dude. No one. Yes, there are issues with international travel and everything, but I don't know what a North Division would solve. Tonight's game, being played in front of nobody, is an all-Ontario game. So unless they completely shut the border down, which they haven't, but unless they completely shut the border down, what would the point of that be? No one wants that, man. No one wants to see that thing ever again. It was a cool idea. I liked it for a little bit, and it got old very fast. That's too much. It's too much to see of any teams, for goodness sakes. Wolf, what's your New Year's resolution? Ooh. Believe it or not, to handle things a little bit better. I want to handle things a little bit better. Oh. Producer Stu said those are fighting words, and I didn't understand what he meant. I wasn't saying handle technical difficulties better. I don't know if you noticed, Producer Stu, but I'm, by the way, shout out Producer Stu for getting full-time. Shout out. I didn't know that. Last time he said thanks. I didn't know that he got full-time, I think, since our last stream. But I'm the guy who screams till he's purple. That's how I got here. That's how I got this gig. So that's what I mean by handling things a little bit better. Now, I'm still going to do that. But, like, I'm going to handle things a little bit better in, like, real life. This is going to sound corny, but, like, I'm a big fan of becoming a better dad. I'm new. My son's at a really fun age. 18 months old. Oh, you know what he's starting to do? So he's like really, you know, they're just cry potatoes for the first few months. And then they roll and they crawl and they walk, but they're not terribly capable with their walking. This kid sprints now. And he's got all sorts of physical abilities that he did not previously have, and he does not know what to do with them. The other day, he picked up a toy car, and it looked like he was showing it to me, and I go, oh, car, because he goes, ka, because he's almost getting there, saying car. I go, car, and he bricked me in the forehead with it. Boom! Just big red mark. And you can't even scold him. He's 18 months old. That's a baby. Can't punish a baby. So you just sort of got to go mother, father, and deal with it. Anyway, the third period starts soon. Microphone. Got all messed up. Spartan. That's who the next question is from. Can I ask you, what is your profession? You see, because is Campbell legit? There's so much more to that question, but I'm already mad. Is Campbell legit? Have we proved it? I keep hearing he's only a backup. Okay, now I think you might be being a little saucy. Because I had previously said that Jack Campbell is a starting goaltender who had never previously been a starting goaltender, which is true. And he has battled many injuries in recent memory, which is true. Right? Last season, that was an issue. He took the starting job from Freddie, but Freddie also lost it due to injury. Campbell played, and he played, and he played, and he proved himself, but there was always the worry that he was going to burn himself out. This season, with Peter Mrazek barely playing at all, it hasn't even been a factor. Jack's looked great the whole time. So, yes, he is legit. As we begin the third period here in Toronto, Leafs, Senators, 3-0 Maple Leafs. Can they hold on? They blew a 4-goal lead to the Senators just last year. Leafs doubling up the Senators in shots through 40 minutes, 26-13. Matt Murray making his comeback for the Ottawa Senators. It's actually looked pretty sharp. For the most part. The team in front of him hasn't been very good.
They don't always tell the story.
I don't care what you think about his performance in this game. You see those stats right there. You cannot...
And special teams have played such a key role. 8 minutes and 34 seconds of power play time for Toronto.
Blame this loss on him.
27 seconds shorthanded.
Especially if they scored 0 goals by the end of this, but there's a lot of hockey left to play. Oh my God. Stop talking. Never tweet out loud.
Tierney on the doorstep.
What you like about Campbell is it's been a difficult game for him because he hasn't been all
What did
that
he
busy.
say?
You can see good hands there.
Fudge
by
on.
to get it to the outside, but watch his read. He gets right up onto the play. Knows that there's
Alan, what would your superhero name be?
middle of his body and able to not only make the save but
Smart insider man. My superpower is truth.
Nylander will step in on this
I
face-off.
bring all the inside breaking news in the NHL world. Putting Elliot Friedman out of business.
Thomas Chabot on the ice, 16 minutes, 22 seconds through 2 periods. Morgan Riley,
80 thoughts.
More to top all Skeeters through
daily.
The first 2 periods.
32 thoughts weekly, amateur. 80 thoughts daily. Smart insider man cannot be stopped. That would be my
with 1 day
superpower.
of practice and Riley have not really looked out of place at all, haven't they?
Jake, have you seen much of Trevor Zegras? Thoughts? Oh my God. Well, I could have told you that dude's a franchise changer. Oh boy. Good foot race there by Dermott. He looked like a franchise changer at the World Juniors. You try not to put too much stock into the World Juniors. And also the Ducks were so bad last year. I was like, okay, one kid is not going to be able to save this. Man, he's nasty. So creative. And he's obviously got confidence, but once he gets a few more reps under his belt, he's obviously got, forget his confidence, he's got the full confidence of his teammates. Sonny Milano told him to do the dish again. Who simply tells a rookie teammate to just do something that's never been done on an NHL ice surface? Yeah, the Ducks are flawed, but legit. They're young and fun. They're what they should be, as opposed to just bad, which is what they were. Like, really underratedly bad. It's amazing that John Gibson didn't forget how to play hockey. It's just the team in front of him got less poo.
You're right, his reaction was late to the shot from Spezza.
How many times did Kipper or Bourne say poo? None? Oh, that's a weird thing to say as a broadcaster? Okay, fine. Winnie the Nothing, then. Oh! 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 What a stop! That was a nasty play. Oh, that would have been an amazing goal. We haven't really talked about it, but Mitch has been buzzing tonight. His first game back off LTIR.
in front of the net, and Matt Murray says, enough of that.
Linda, how's the coffee?
Earlier on, they talked in studio about Matthews being able to turn pucks over to make plays.
In a towel.
He had 3 chances of that one on the board.
I spilled it.
To
Still smells good though.
Mitch Marner, and
now the whole room smells
he
good.
wasn't able to get that one up and over as Murray came sliding across. A tough pass.
Spro.
Bunting as a left-hander trying to just chip it towards
Shout out Dan Riccio.
a little bit too far to the right, and
Izzy,
Murray able to get that
who
leg
will
back
host the
and
next
make an
Winter
excellent
Classic?
save.
I mean,
Tavares sweeps that face-off.
Chicago.
In behind the net.
It's always
Shabbat able to
Chicago.
move the puck. Sandin advancing and getting it back to Kerfoot, looking to center it, but
I'd like to see a Toronto-Ottawa Winter Classic.
in by Hall, and now Shabbat
It's kind of weird Toronto and Montreal have not played a Winter Classic.
work his way past Sandin. Zoom from the line, knocked down, and the Leafs will counter that.
Oh,
Just out of the reach of Nylander, and that prevented a 2-on-1 break for the Leafs. In front, it's Tavares.
Oh.
Steal and backhand.
GT's had some opportunities tonight. Again, it's just not crisp. Like, I don't know. Really, what do you expect after such a long layoff?
He made it too quickly, and now that one just gets by him. But
Julian McKenzie, did you see any of the Winter Classic? No, but I did see the St. Louis Blues in -20 temperatures walking in beach clothes. Legendary. I heard they're really scoring a lot of goals. Let me see. Out-of-town scoreboard, as the Leafs now have more than double the shots of the Sens again. Oh my God! At the end of the second period, it is 6-2 Blues over the Wild. Oh, and the Wild are the home team. Oh, heavens. Oh, dear. Is that bad? Seems bad. Kaprizov has a goal. I hope I started him in fantasy. I have not checked my team in, well, I don't know if you've seen the world, sort of. Gestures vaguely at it.
Extra pass there too as Spezza's on it. Here's Jason Spezza working his way in, but can't get by Lassie Thompson.
I don't think Kasia was expecting that pass from Mikheyev, was he? He was right on the doorstep.
There's Riley across.
Oh, this is all Leafs, man.
Holds on.
Well, we saw those stats of
I'm sure the Sens are going to have a push.
This third period has been very much
But this is all Leafs so far. By the way, just to confirm what I read earlier from NHL Public Relations, Justin Hall and Ilya Mikheyev each scored a shorthanded goal 27 seconds apart to give the Leafs a 2-0 lead. The Maple Leafs matched their franchise record, so they tied it. Matched their franchise record for fastest 2 shorthanded goals, 27 seconds apart. A mark set by Boreas Salming and Greg Therrien on November 16th, 1986.
Brody, Engvall, shot wide.
Oh!
Traffic heavy in front of Murray, and now Batherson ahead for Kachuk. That one flipped in front.
Leafs have done a pretty decent job of always at least having one guy back.
Bumps it down into the Ottawa zone. Mete around the boards. There's Batherson handing it off to Shabbat and ahead for Tierney. Trying to bump a slump. Tierney for Shabbat, and Engvall covering him and taking it away. Matthews pass. Intercepted.
I'm looking forward to tonight's LFR video.
Matthews step back in to get it to
It feels like the first one of the season again.
Who just flips it down the ice. It's going to be an icing call against.
I make a video after every Leafs game.
Find out what growing up was like for Mark Critch.
And this is one of the stranger games I think I've ever done.
Original comedy coming
To be
this
totally
January
honest.
to CBC and CBC Gem.
Chris, you mentioned the face-offs. The Leafs, the second best face-off team in the league.
Almost doesn't feel real.
For this kind of play,
I remember the
you win
first
the draw, you got some tired bodies, and
bubble, not bubble, the first North Division game the Leafs played against Montreal, and that felt fake.
fresh troops out there.
Matthews now 9-3 on the night. Bunting.
But this thing, like,
Marner. Nick Holden is there.
this is surreal.
Moves it ahead.
But fans will be back in the building this season. I told myself that earlier tonight,
Matthews.
and I choose to believe it.
Bunting there trying to pry it loose. Matthews looking to center, but
What is that based in, Steve? It is based in optimism.
But not
Shout out Julian McKenzie, by the way.
Stutzla, he lost the puck, and Marner back for
Thank you,
Matthews.
sir, for your question.
Across for Sandin. Leafs blue line's been jumping
All
tonight.
Maple Leafs still. Goodness gracious.
Sandin takes a long look. Back to Hall and Marner. Marner from long range.
Oh!
The rebound got past Bunting.
Andrew, what's your favorite NHL rivalry? Ooh.
Zook wants to get off. And got some help from Stutzla to get it down into the Leaf zone.
I've said this before, but
possession is such an important part of the Leafs
Sidney Crosby's impact on the NHL is so far beyond the fact that the Penguins have been good for a long time. They've won 3 cups during his tenure. He's played fantastically, put up amazing numbers. I really enjoy the Pittsburgh Penguins rivalry against everybody. The entire Metro Division, am I right? Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we're not doing a Steve wearing pants. Yes, I am. All right? I'm wearing sweatpants. The sweatpants that I was wearing when I got the phone call. Hey, would you like to join the stream tonight? And I said yes. Spoiler alert. Yeah, Penguins versus Flyers is always extremely vicious. Penguins versus Capitals is always extremely vicious. Penguins versus Rangers is underratedly vicious. Penguins versus Islanders is underratedly even and exciting. And the Penguins have had playoff series against all of those teams. All of them. Over the course of Crosby's tenure. A lot of them in recent memory. Dude. Obviously, you know, the classics. Toronto, Montreal, Montreal, Boston. The Leafs versus themselves. You know. Edmonton, Calgary. That's a really good one. But Penguins versus everybody. Favorite from when I was a kid is Detroit versus Colorado. And the Devils versus Fun. I have not forgiven them. Matthew, do you have any teams you bandwagon when a certain team exits the first round? No, it depends. It completely depends on context. You know, like if I want a certain player to win, like 2013, Leafs were knocked out by the Bruins. The Bruins ended up knocking out the Penguins that year, which was a shame because I wanted to see Jerome McGinley win a cup, you know? So I'll cheer for him individually. Last year, I mean, it was a great story no matter who won the cup. It's Montreal's Cinderella run or Tampa wins back-to-back. Tampa wins back-to-back in less than 12 months. One in a bubble and one in front of a packed barn. Stamkos gets his mulligan. As the Sens are pressing here. Can't get the shot through.
Thompson looking for his first NHL goal. Thought he had it earlier this year.
This is going to sound corny, but I cheer for stories.
Campbell holds on to that.
Well, with a quiet building, you could hear all the yelling off the face-off. And what it was Kerfoot falls down here. He plays the puck with his hand. If he was the centerman, that would be a penalty. And the Ottawa Senators wanted a call there, but it was Tavares who was the center iceman. Now as a winger, he's just coming in, so it's not the same rules. And Kerfoot just trying to keep the puck alive offensively gets a little bit of a
Am I frozen?
a break there.
I hope not.
Though.
Nope, there I am. You're not supposed to say those things out loud, but I panicked.
Camp on that draw. The Leafs are out. And here's Kasha. Playing it past Shabbat and behind the net.
Oh, man. Austin, dream podcast guest.
Steering it ahead, and there's
Oh, boy.
Batherson kicking it loose.
Wow.
Tierney to Shabbat at the line. Tierney back to Shabbat. Fires right on. That
I mean, I would really like to get Kyle Dubas.
Desjardins,
I think that'd be really
a proud
interesting.
Part of communities, a proud fan of hockey wherever
Bob
it's played.
Cole. Bob Cole would be sick.
Just trying to get the shooting lane by sliding across. Kasha rather is a little late, but look at the positioning.
Man, that's a very good question, and I'm completely unprepared to ask it. I mean, we've had Edge, the wrestler, on. That was pretty cool. We had Ron McLean on, Elliot Friedman, although it's been a long time, Justin Bourne, Nick Kypreos, Jeff Merrick, CJ a million times. Enough times that we gave him a show.
Incredible run here, and since
And
January
Julian,
1
hello.
of a year ago, those numbers are pretty darn impressive. And one of the reasons why the
Bob Cole for
confidence of
sure.
this team has been able to stay so high, knowing each and every night you're going to get a good performance by number 36.
Beat the Senators in his first start.
And in terms of ones I think I can make happen, Michael Bublé. We had him on. He joined one of our classic streams.
Mrazek, who backs up tonight, and all the time off, you expect that he's back in full health.
You know what? Is good
Why
for
is
me,
Peter
though,
Mrazek?
is
Since when does the Leafs backup goalie not sit on their own bench?
He started 2-2-1 to begin the season. Did Campbell.
Anyway, Michael Bublé was on one of our classic streams at the beginning of the pandemic, and we just sort of talked about how we're both irrational hockey fans. Me about the Leafs and him about the Canucks. And I did not know that Michael Bublé knew I existed. So that was pretty cool. Relentless. Will Stamkos make the Hall of Fame? He should. Like, people, he kind of gets lost in his own success. Like, the Tampa Bay Lightning are disgusting. They won back-to-back cups. He has one of two 60-goal seasons in the last, like, what, quarter century. I'm just pulling up his stats right now. And, like, he's not done playing either. 72 points in 94 playoff games. He's gonna play well over 100 playoff games by the time it's all said and done. That's really hard to do in the NHL. 905 points in 873 games. You got to remember, he's also missed a lot of time due to injury. Oh! Matthews can't quite get it through.
One of his best looks of the night, knocks it down.
Like, I'm looking at Stamkos' seasons. 48, obviously, because of the lockout. 37, 17 games, 57, 38, 32. Well, 32 this year. That's actually good.
Be the example of 18-day rust because those have been going in.
He played just one playoff game in 2016, just one playoff game in the bubble.
As mentioned, on a 60-goal pace coming into this game tonight.
So 905 points in 873 games. And the reason, oh boy, sends with a chance. The reason I bring that up is I feel like the cutoff for guys like Stammer, guys who are prolific, but struggle with injury. I feel like the cutoff is Paul Kariya, who's in the Hall of Fame. 989 points in 989 games. He has 2 Lady Bings and no cup. Stamkos has 2 Rockets and 2 cups. One at the World Juniors. No, he didn't have the same international success, obviously, because of the Olympics. It's not really his fault. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Come on now. Come on now. Garrett, if you had to sign any retired Leafs player and slot them in the lineup with current skills, who do you pick? Oh, man. Retired. Let me read that question again. If you had to sign any retired Leafs player and slot them in the lineup with current skills, who do you pick? Okay. Did they have to retire a Leaf? Because I'm just trying to think of guys who were Leafs but didn't necessarily retire as Leafs. Like, is Curtis McElhinney cheating? He just retired. Wasn't bad when he retired. And we're talking about current skills here. So he's obviously still good. I know you're looking for something cheeky, like, oh, Darcy Tucker, because he's feisty. No, Darcy Tucker hasn't played in a very long time. Curtis McElhinney just played. So I'm going to cheat and say Curtis McElhinney. Correct answer is Gary Roberts. What a madman. Either Stefan or Steven. I get very uptight about this because my name is Steven, spelled with a V. Steven, what's a small thing that brought you joy while hockey was paused? Oh, man. My son's first toddler Christmas. He was 6 months old last Christmas. He thought the lights were cool. But again, he's 6 months old. Now he's run around, grab stuff, rip tissue paper, fall off of stuff, make all kinds of noise. Like, God, that was so fun.
Does it come off tomorrow? I don't know.
He's not going to score
I did have a night, I haven't told the story yet, where I was basically an Uber for rapid tests. It was before Christmas. Obviously, people still wanted to see each other, but wanted to be cautious about it, so they wanted a rapid test. So I drove up the street to a friend's house, picked up 4 rapid tests in Ottawa, drove them to Ajax, dropped them off, drove to Pickering, picked up 3 more rapid tests, drove those to Scarborough, dropped those off, and drove all the way back to Oshawa in a snowstorm. That's how much I wanted everyone to be safe at Christmas. Also, it should probably be easier to get those things. But that's, hey, we're just talking about fun things. It was really fun watching Leo open presents. Played some Chell with the boys. Oh, no! Big stop by Campbell. Whose pizza was that? Was that Spezza? No. Bad veteran. Naughty veteran.
Too many times that Campbell's had to bail anyone out. It's been a pretty neat and tidy game in the defensive zone. Spezza,
oh, Jason, why? Oh, no.
Go across crease, but look at Campbell's reaction coming flying out. Sorry about that, partner.
Sorry, that reaction's very funny. Yeah, no, that was dumb.
Had a couple of chances in this game.
Jason Spezza makes me laugh, man. 8.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Leafs still up 3-0, but the Sens getting some chances. Sloppy hockey. On account of no one's played a game for like 2-3 weeks. Is that ice? That's ice.
Wins the race to get the icing call.
Irfan, can you, if you could rewatch any Leafs game fresh, what would it be? Okay, so I think what you mean is like, I get to watch a Leafs game and I don't know the result. I don't know if this is a great answer. Oh, because again, like, they have no cool playoff stuff in recent memory. Like, all cool playoff memories they have in recent memory are tainted by the fact that they lost the series. The game in spring of 2017 against the Penguins, second last game of the season, where the Leafs won, came back from a 3-1 deficit. They beat the Penguins, who were shorthanded, in order to secure a playoff spot. That game was a bloody carnival, and I was a mess. I was beside myself the entire time. I would love to relive that adrenaline rush. That was fun.
Ottawa now in the midst of a stretch of
Adriano.
Well, now for the Leafs, you've already had, what, 15 players.
Did you ever want to do color commentary? Would you, or is this more your style? Yeah, of course I've wanted to do that. I did the morning announcements in my high school because I can't shut up. I actually applied for and got a play-by-play job for Ryerson, but I did not ask what the money was during the interview, which, for all you kids out there, is dumb. It ended up being like, I would have basically been making like $5 a game, like after paying for the commute. Like, and I had already graduated. Like, give that job to a student, dude. Give that job to a current student. I was a graduate. It didn't make sense. So anyway, I got the job and then was like, no thanks. So that was dumb. But yeah, I would love to do color commentary or play-by-play.
Less of a problem until Ottawa can find a way to start winning some.
But I do think this is kind of more my thing. Like, let's be honest, color commentary is former players, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I've had to battle against, certain ideas in the sport for all my career because, I never played. I don't know if you've ever seen me play. I'm pretty garbage. But there are certain things where probably best. Whoa, we got a breakaway. William Nylander. What a move. What a goal. Holy cow. William Nylander. There's fans.
Now, what a play by William Nylander in anticipation of this break.
Holy cow.
I mean, you get a dump in. He's on the sideboards. Watch the middle of the ice. You make one good outlet pass.
Who sent that wicked pass?
A little shuffle with his
Dermott?
feet. Now he's got so much
Ew.
He takes Murray's movement right out of the equation. No hesitation at all.
Look at.
Keeps his legs moving and a quick, determined play. Murray's going to have to slide back so quickly to try
Nice
to make
pass.
that
Yeah,
save.
okay.
The high fives of the
Willie,
very
you
few
are
fans
disgusting.
who
Is
have
that
been
dark
there.
guy?
That super fan gets his moment. And Nylander with the point back. Just a great pass up the middle, but excellent move with all.
Oh, it's the super fan with the basement with a million jerseys. How do the Sens? Oh, okay. So, getting from producer Stu and producer Rob. So I was right. Dark guy is there with the super fan from Alberta. Oh God, what's his name? I've tweeted him. His basement's unbelievable. So anyway, William Nylander scores, puts the Leafs up 4-0 with 6:17 to go. And the Sens take a penalty off the face-off, and so the Leafs go to the power play immediately. I saw the fan from Alberta with the crazy basement. He had some flight issues as well. Curtis from Alberta, Leafs guy 403 on Twitter. If you go to his Twitter account, you can see some of his stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's got... There's a dude named Mike who lives in Toronto who has a Leaf shrine, and there's Curtis. I think those guys are head and shoulders above the rest of the competition in terms of Leafs fans with memorabilia. I've seen some cool things, but the accumulation those guys have. Off the post, Mikheyev, 2-goal game! Ilya Mikheyev on the power play. 5-0 Leafs with 5:18 to go.
Look at the reaction. It's about building a
Sheldon Keefe laughing. He's not coming off for the rest of the game. I think that's what he just said. I read his lips there. I think he said he's not coming off. He wants Ilya to get a hat trick. I didn't even see where that puck went.
And the puck has been finding Mikheyev all night long.
Oh, Kasha, great read. Mikheyev roofs it.
Smiles all around, but from a head coach, that's a good feel.
Here, what did Keefe say? What did Keefe say? Show it. Ah! I'm almost positive he said he's not coming off. I mean, you got to get him the Hattie. You got to try.
First game and not until 18 days ago in Edmonton, and now he's got 2 goals in 2 games.
Man, I feel bad for Matt Murray in this one.
7 shots on goal to match a...
He didn't get any help at all. His team took, 6 penalties? Oh, the Leafs keep their power play goal streak alive. But his team took like 6 penalties. They only got 21 shots. They're probably going to give up 40 by the time it's all said and done, at least. Leafs undefeated this season when scoring 4+ goals. You. Was that at home? A lot of goals. Good stop by Campbell. Big rebound, and Marner helps recover. Look at this play. That could have gone squirrely in a hurry, but God, he's got such good edges.
First career 2-goal game for Ilya Mikheyev. And the Leafs get the power play goal to extend their streak in that department to 7 games. Tierney with the pass for Tkachuk off the boards and out. Now Marner up for Matthews.
Leafs really not taking their foot off the gas, and I feel bad because it's one of those situations where, you know, you might chill a little bit in normal circumstances, but these are normal circumstances. Both teams are trying to get their feet underneath them.
Matthews tied up at center.
They haven't played in a long time.
Nick Holden after it. Formanton can't get it.
And they're missing guys. Worth mentioning, the Sens are playing shorthanded up front. Leafs playing shorthanded on the back end. There's a bunch of guys in positions that they probably should not be, let's be honest. Another stop by Campbell. 3 minutes to go.
Now Sandin on the tape for Tavares. John Tavares turned back by Zub. Hands it off to Nylander.
My whole room does smell like espresso now because of that spill. William Nylander? Oh. Was that a Willie goal?
Has 2 in the third.
No, Willie's on Hattie Watch too. All right. So what's the line? Nylander, Mikheyev,
This has been just a ratcheted up game as the offense
Justin Hall up the
to
middle.
click the quick passes. This is another excellent pass by Rasmus Sandin that spreads the Ottawa Senators out.
I mean, they look great.
Now Tavares goes
Can't say they don't.
2 guys with him. And from Matt Murray, you saw there. He
Oh, was that
no
tip?
idea where that puck was. Look at all the bodies in front. A couple of flybys as Mikheyev right in his eyes. 2 of his own.
I thought that might have hit someone's bum.
Screening him as well.
Willie doesn't even feel good about it.
Here's Tierney.
Screw Willie hat trick. He doesn't even want it. Give it to Ilya. He wants it bad. Oh!
Took a whack at it, but
Actually, while we're... Oh, there he goes. See how much he wants it? See how much he wants it? Come on. Come on.
15 goals now on the
Wheel.
season for Nylander.
Wheel, Ilya. Don't you go off. What are you going off for?
Call of Duty
Come on, Cobra.
has answered the call here in the third period tonight. Oh, the video games help these guys with the reaction time.
That seems so.
So we got double Hattie Watch, and we got...
Away goes Formanton.
Don't say it.
He is bumped there by Biega.
Something else.
Gambrell on the near side cycles it back for Brown. Alex Biega's on it, and he'll send it through center right on.
Clearing attempt. Dead on. I think that was Biega, too.
6-0 Maple Leafs.
Okay, yeah, that's... come on, Justin. What are you even complaining about? That's definitely a penalty. Oh, his nose has been through it. And now...
Well, the puck's up in the air, so Hall going after it ends up...
Yeah, that's just irresponsible, bud. You cross-checked him in the neck.
Brown missed it as he was trying to pop that one by the defender instead.
Well, with 1:37 to go,
Chris, now you're just defending
something is in jeopardy.
The late power play, don't give them anything here. And
I mean, they're going to win.
Try something positive out of what's been
But
a disappointing first game back.
Let's get this. I'm not going to say what it is, but let's get it. Don't you screw this up. Don't you screw this up. Don't you screw this up. That's a cheeky pass, but a good one. Oh, boy.
Where they have scored twice this year.
You got me thinking about a Mikheyev shorty hat trick. When was the last time a player got a hat trick where 2 of the goals were shorthanded? It's going to have to happen if it's going to happen. Oh! Don't you screw this up. 70 seconds to go. I'm jacked like this is a tie game right now.
And now Camp with a chance to clear And does.
Another
Under a minute to go. Don't you screw this up.
Reading the play. You got to know where the threat is. The shot's coming from his left, but he knows.
I'm adjusting my neck like I'm
right, and he does a great job
part of the action. That was my chest. I don't know if you heard that.
Out and closing the gap so the tip doesn't have any chance of getting by.
40 seconds left as Batherson brings the power.
I hope you didn't hear the burp.
Check
Oh,
by
here he goes! Here he goes!
and
Let's go! Oh, he passed it! Boo! Boo!
Well, almost the third shorthanded goal of the game, but it came off.
29.5 seconds to go in the game. Oh, that was a good stop by Campbell. After a start to the game where he basically had nothing to do, he's been very sharp as the Sens have started to pour it on a little bit. Mikheyev stays out there with Engvall. I love it. But don't you screw this up. Don't you screw this up. Biega out there. Don't you screw this up. Come on. Cleared. Don't you screw this up. All right. 12 seconds to go. Don't you screw this up. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't. Okay. Woo! 6-0 victory. Toronto Maple Leafs. Jack Campbell with the shutout. What are you talking about, Austin? Get out of here.
So much talk about the business side of the Leafs deciding.
Get out of here.
Games Saturday and Wednesday.
You should have acted tough during the game there, bud.
I think, and rightly so.
They might have just been saying hello. I'm being mean.
Of your game, a frustrating night.
Woo! What a night.
Neat and tidy game for the Maple Leafs.
What a night. If you were here since the beginning,
it's
been a trip. We had a lot of technical difficulties. I really want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Oh my God. Producer Steph, producer Tom, producer Stu, I should say. Producer Drew, producer Soup, producer Rob. Who else is in here? Who's in the group chat? Let me check the group chat. I didn't even have a chance to see who's in here. Producer. Did I say Steph? Producer Steph. Thank you all. Big thanks to Justin Bourne and Nick Kypreos for entering a really difficult situation where it's just a bunch of technical difficulties and no one asked for that. Just sort of happened. Thank you for sticking with us because you knew it'd be fun. I hope it was. Let's watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle, and that Leaf game ended with a 6-0 Leafs victory. I think that's a wonderful thing. So, let's not make this any longer than it needs to be. I don't think anyone behind the scenes wants that right now, but we should be back next Saturday with another Leafs game. I think it's against the Avs. Producer Drew. I hope he's working that game. If the Leafs are winning, I could just turn the knife. Everybody, that is it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this stream. Click subscribe if you really like to. Tell all your friends. The Leafs are back with a 6-0 win over the Ottawa Senators. Happy New Year.